Hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? My name is Jettison. But as always, you can call me Jets. And that's Jets. Jets. You're on my channel now, which means that you are in a quiet as we can manage, and a safe space. Once again, happy Pride Month for all of us who celebrate. So I am super excited tonight because I am doing a fandom video of just some things that I've acquired over the years. I really don't have a whole lot of stuff because I have a problem with spending money on things that I don't deem absolutely necessary. But the theme tonight is kind of like popular TV shows that I think quite a few people are fandoms of. So we're going to start with Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. And this book is the Watcher's Guide for when you watch the show. This book is very old, and my sister gave it to me a while back because so Buffy and Angel starts on Buffy, but then he gets his own little spinoff, and my sister prefers Angel, the TV show, over Buffy, and I prefer the storyline, I guess, on Angel more. And I really love the characters on Angel, but Buffy has Spike. And I know that Spike, eventually gets on Angel, but he's mainly on Buffy. And I am a Spike fan. So it says exclusive interviews, totally pointy profiles, behind the scenes info, and other buff stuff about the hit show. If you have never watched Buffy, I am so sorry. But you are missing out on a cultural phenomenon. Now, Joss Whedon sucks as a person, but this, I'm so thankful for Buffy. So I thought those pages are thick. I could just show you some photos because they have a little photo section in here that I just found. Yeah, there's like colored photos. But look at this. Oh my god. So we have Buffy and Angel, and then Buffy and Angel again, then Buffy and Angel again. But look at this. Look at these iconic. It's so 90s. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, as I said, I am a Spike fan over Angel. I do love Angel, don't get me wrong. But I love Spike. I love Spike so much. Spike and Faith are my favorite characters from Buffy. But yeah, we have them right there. Speaking of my man, and then there's Drusilla. This show is so good. I can't. And then we have Xander and Buffy, Cordy and Xander, and then we have Giles and Miss Calendar. Why can I not remember her first name right now? I know her last name's Calendar though. Jenny. Her name's Jenny. Jenny Calendar. But yeah, so we have those characters. And then we have Willow and Xander. And there's some little character sketches of, I guess, outfits that they could have worn. And then we got Buffy and Willow, and some more little character outfit, like drawings they could have worn. And, you know, more just character outfit designs. This was probably Drew. That looks like a Drew outfit. And then we got Buffy and Angel again, and we have Buffy looking like she's getting ready to slay a vampire. And then just have some cute little cast shots. Look at the girls. Oh, Cordy. My partner really loves Cordy, which I cannot blame them because Charisma Carpenter. Beautiful. Yeah. So this book, you just kind of follow along with episodes like it. Let's read the table of contents. So there's the mythology of Buffy, which is like rules of the game, or the Slayer handbook according to Buffy Summers. There's the Sunnydale guidebook, the character guide, an episode guide. So it only does the first and the second seasons, and there are 7 seasons of Buffy. There's only 5 seasons of Angel because it got canceled. I think it was a victim of the first writer's strike. I know there's a writer's strike going on right now, but I think Angel was one of the shows that got canceled during the writer's strike in like 2007, around there. And then there's a monster guide, and there's something called Bloodlust, and then there's behind the scenes with Cass, Joss Whedon, and then the crew. And then something about music. Music is really popular in Buffy. It does age the show a little bit. But this is a cool book to have. And my sister's had it forever, like I said. I couldn't tell you where she got it. But it's just a fun thing to have. I don't know how many people actually even know that this exists. But yeah. So that was Buffy. The next thing I have Dwight. A little Dwight figurine from The Walking Dead. I started watching The Walking Dead after season... I think I started watching right before Negan, like, came into the show, because I know they were already in... Oh man, I can't remember what the name of that place was, but it was after they left the prison in Terminus. And they went there to, like, that suburban area place. What was that called? I don't know. But I started watching, like, after that had just aired. So I got caught up. I don't know what season that was. It might have been, like, 6 or 7. I think Negan might have come in season 8. I don't remember. I stopped watching after, like, some stuff happened to the Grimes family. Because the Grimes family is my favorite. Like, Carl and... I don't know why I started whispering. But, Rick Grimes is my favorite. Now, I don't have a Rick Grimes figurine. I have Dwight. But Rick Grimes, Michonne. Michonne. That's my woman. So my favorites are Rick Grimes, Michonne, and I also loved Carl. And, you know, Negan and all of them come in. And I don't know. I just, like, fell in love with Dwight's character. And Austin Emilio, the actor who plays him, just seems like a really cool guy as well. I follow him on his social media, and he's usually skateboarding. But yeah, this is the back. So Dwight is the one that Negan, like, ironed his face because he had run away with his wife. And I don't know, there was just something about Dwight that I was like, I love this character so much. I'm not usually into blonde men, and I say that way until I start talking about Attack on Titan. But I'm not usually into blonde men, because like I said, Rick Grimes, that's my man. But yeah, so he has the crossbow, and He has a little pistol over here as well, and he's wearing a little leather jacket. Kind of looks like a Dean outfit to me. Like, you know, the red button-up shirt that Dean wears when he's like Demon Dean? Like, he's kind of got the same thing going on with the little red shirt. But this is the only figurine that I have, and I kind of just bought it on a whim. Like I said earlier, I don't usually do that. But I just love Dwight. And this is the only Walking Dead thing I think I own. Because I like the show, but I don't like it enough to just buy a whole bunch of stuff. Dwight just stole my heart. Especially after I lost my Grimes family, I was just like, okay. Just hyper fixate on Dwight. This is a mainly talking ASMR. So if you don't find my voice particularly tingly, I'm sorry. I love ASMRs though, where someone just like talks to you and like does tingles at the same time. Like, I love just like pretending we're having a conversation, I guess. Those are my favorite ASMRs to watch. Okay, I have more stuff to get to, so we'll move on from Dwight, but that's my little Dwight figurine and I love him. We're gonna move on to my Supernatural stuff, and I was one of the people that watched Supernatural when it originally aired. I was there for that, so it has been a part of my life for a very, very long time, and like, I still don't have a whole lot of merch, but I have shown this in a video before, but this little box of matches with the season 6 DVD cover on it. Now, my sister bought this for me because my least favorite cover is the season 6 cover. I hate it. I hate it. I think it's because I hate season 6 so much though. Season 6 is trash to me. Like, I know we get Godsteel at the very end of that season, but that's like the only redeeming thing about that season, because I hated Soulless Sam. I was like, you know, it just, this season did nothing for me. Now, seasons 8, 9, and 10 are the best Supernatural seasons outside of 1 through 5, because 1 through 5 had such a cohesive storyline that they just flow together so well. And it really does not do that for me again until you get to seasons 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10 are amazing, and I also really love season 13. But how can I not? Because we get that Tombstone episode. And I love cowboys. But yeah, so I have this little thing of matches. You got the little stripe pad. Like I said, I've never used these matches. But I thought this was funny because I hate that cover. And then she had made me these little cross stitches. So this says "Idjit," which, you know, is like Bobby's catchphrase. If you watch Supernatural, you know that it's Bobby's catchphrase. And I love Bobby. Bobby is one of my top characters on Supernatural. Like, Dean is my absolute favorite, and then it's Castiel, and then it's probably Bobby. But yeah, it says "Idjit," and it's got the little cornflower blue. And then she also made me this one that has a moose, and it says "So get this," because Sam's nickname is Moose, and he always says, "So get this." You could probably play a drinking game with how many times Sam says, "So get this." Whenever they're doing research. But yeah, it's cool because my sister made me these. She used to do quite a bit of cross stitching. Okay, moving on because we're already almost 20 minutes into this video and I still have more stuff to show. So this is, I think, one of the only supernatural things I've ever like really bought for myself. The shirt, and it says the good, the bad, and the Bobby. Because as I just mentioned earlier, I love cowboys, and when I say cowboys, I mean like westerns. And you know, the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is like an iconic cowboy movie. But it's the good, the bad, and the Bobby, and I was like, I have to have this because it's my love of supernatural and cowboys in one. Like I love cowboy AUs. I will read every supernatural cowboy AU there is. I don't really wear this shirt that often because I don't want to wash it too much and like ruin the design. But I love it. Yeah. It's got Bulldog Crowley on it, which I think is what he looks like during season 5 and 6. I don't think he really starts growing his beard out until like maybe 7? Might have been 8. Can you feel my excitement through the screen? I love talking about stuff like this. I love fandom stuff. I could talk about it all the time. So the next thing I have, it's not really supernatural, but it is like supernatural related. I bought Misha's poetry book when he originally published it in 2021. And it's got a very soft cover. It's called Some Things I Still Can't Tell You. I myself am a poet, and I think it's really cool that Misha is as well. So I was like, you know, let me tell you, you cannot make money off poetry at all. It's not something that you write to make money off of. It's something that comes from your heart and your soul. So I always try to support people that actually like publish a poetry book because they're not likely to be sold. Now he is a huge celebrity. Now he is a big celebrity, at least to the people who watch Supernatural. So obviously this sold pretty well, probably. But I do like his poetry. I liked it quite a bit, and it's actually pretty hard for me to like poetry. I don't like most of the stuff I read, but that's Misha. It says, from Misha Collins, actor, artist, writer, and activist, comes his debut poetry collection. Trademark wit and piercing vulnerability converge in each poem. This book is both a celebration of and an aspiration for a life well lived. Did he dedicate something to his wife in here? Oh no, he did. He dedicated it to his babies. I think most of the poems in here are about his wife. Oh yeah, and it says Misha Collins is best known for his 12-year portrayal as the Angel Castiel on television Supernatural. 12 years. The next thing I have that's supernatural related is the Supernatural Cookbook. Now, I got this as a Christmas gift, I think last year. But it is either recipes inspired by the show or like things they kind of like ate on screen and then they made recipes for it. There's breakfast, appetizers and road snacks, sandwiches and burgers, soups, salads and sides, entrees, desserts, and drinks, and they're all kind of named like stuff from the show. And there's so many photos. whoever designed this book did such a good job with not only making the food look so appetizing. That is the Dean's Breakfast bacon cheeseburgers with honey sriracha. But they made the food look so good. But not only that, they made my boy look so good. Like, whoever designed this book loves Castiel. And I don't blame them, because I also love Castiel. Look at him. Look at how gorgeous he is. Now, granted, this was probably season 4 or season 5, so this was a million years ago when Misha Collins was half the age he is now. But he looks so good. But this book is really fun, and I've made a few things out of here, and they've all been good. So if you like Supernatural, or if you just like to cook, I would recommend this for sure. Also, the tappies on this book are so good because it's a hardcover. So it says, celebrate your love of Sam, Dean, Castiel, and all your favorite characters of Supernatural, the official cookbook. It says, when they aren't keeping humanity safe from all kinds of otherworldly threats, the Winchester brothers and their fellow hunters often take time to eat and devise their next steps for hunting monsters at small town diners, bars, or wherever they can fuel up. I know Batala always talks about how she really likes book tapping, and I agree, it sounds good. But that was all my Supernatural stuff, so we're going to move on to the next one. I don't really have a whole lot of, because, like I said, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on stuff. But my partner did just buy one of the Berserk books. This is so heavy. It's still in the plastic wrap. Oh man, that's really shining with the light, but that's Guts. We'll just put him in the circle. You know what? He deserves it because this man has been through so much. And he honestly just needs a hug. But this is the second edition because they did not have the first. We've already watched the manga that was made. Watched it a few times. I love Guts so much. And Griffith is beautiful, but Griffith scares the hell out of me. Especially after, what happens in the manga. But Guts is one of my top anime characters, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm still very new to anime. Have not watched a whole lot of anime, but Berserk is one that you gotta get into. The show has influenced so many other stories. It directly influenced, I know for a fact, Dark Souls. And I believe the creator of Attack on Titan might have talked about this too. I know that Neon Genesis Evangelion, I think was inspired by this too. Don't quote me on that though. Sticky sounds. Because like I said, it's still in the plastic wrap. This is insanely heavy right now. It says parental advisory. That's true. But yeah. So, like I said, my partner just bought this Berserk book. It's got the little symbol on the front. The symbol of sacrifice, I believe it's called. But yeah, so that's the book. I think there's 40 something of those. So the collection's going to be huge and heavy. It's going to be like owning that encyclopedia thing that everybody used to own back in like the 90s. So for Christmas, this last Christmas that just happened, I bought a canvas print for my partner of Guts. This is when he's in his Black Knight arc, I believe it is. But look at him. Look at him. How could you not love him? hearts and soul. Heart and soul, baby. But this hangs in our living room. I really, really want to get more art of the shows that I love. Like, that is my goal, is to get more art. Because I don't really like to wear a lot of graphic t-shirts. I just want my art covered in like pictures of characters that I love and ships that I love. Yeah, that's the Berserk items that we have. Everybody tell Guts that you love him. Somebody tell him that they love him, please. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to talk about is Attack on Titan. Because this last week just bought the No Regrets side stories. It's only 2 little books, but this is technically a Levi backstory, but it also has a little bit of Erwin in it as well. But more importantly, it's got Mike in it. And Mike is my husband. I'll just say that. Like, I love Levi. Levi is in my top favorite Attack on Titan characters. But now my all-around favorite is Reiner. If I'm choosing all over favorite Attack on Titan character, it's Reiner. Now, Mike and Erwin are my boys. It says the thief and the soldier. Also, let me just say this right now. This is a romance. Like, I don't care what anyone else says. Levi and Erwin, they're in love. But it says the thief and the soldier. So it says the young Erwin Smith is a rising star in the Survey Corps. Humanity's only hope of defeating the man-eating monsters known as Titans. Ruthless and dispassionate. Excuse me. Erwin's mind is devoted to strategies and intrigue. But beneath Erwin's feet is another world, the underground, where humans are born and die, surrounded by the garbage the capital throws away. Here, the criminal, Levi. I understand why a lot of people like him. He's not my favorite character, but I do love him. So the criminal Levi survives on his wits and agility. But when these 2 ambitious men cross paths, who will prove himself stronger? So I'm gonna find my husband just to show y'all who I'm talking about. Also, so like there's this whole like scene. Okay, so spoilers. So Levi is trying to like run away from Mike and Erwin because they're hunting him in the underground. And so there's this like little doorway that Levi just kind of like flips himself over because he's running away from Mike mostly at this point. And so he's like doing his little acrobatic flips and stuff. You know how Levi does if you watch Attack on Titan. And then, so he's just like, oh, okay, I got away from him. Tell me why. So you know how I said Levi just like flipped over that little doorway? Why does Mike crash his entire body through it? Levi just said, okay, alley-oop. And then Mike said, you know what? I'm gonna just throw my whole 6'5" body through these double wooden doors. I'm sure nothing's gonna pierce my freaking skin. I'm just gonna barrel myself into this 5'2" man. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? But that's why I love this. And I'm trying to find a little drawing. Also, he shoves Levi's face into a puddle, and I'm like, the fic is writing itself, y'all. Look at my boy. Look at him. That's my husband. That's my husband. Erwin Smith is also my husband though, but I love Erwin and Levi together, and I'm like, I can't do that to Levi, so Mike is my husband. I try not to, I guess, like, sexualize the 104th crew, because for the majority of the show, they are like 15 years old, and I have not been 15 for a very long time, so I tend to focus on the veterans. Like, I know now in like season 4, I think everybody's like 19, 20. It still feels weird to like romanticize them though, because I'm like, oh, I've known them as babies for so long, but it's a little bit different because, you know, the vets were adults. Yeah, so that's the first. This is the second part. And man, I just let me tell you, the ending of this is so dramatic, and I'm like, how is this not a romance story? Like, you're telling me it's not? You're telling me it's a shonen? Excuse me? Like, no. This is a romance. I don't care what anybody says. It's my husband. I love Mike. But yeah, so like I said, I just bought these. I started to read it. I actually just read them earlier before I started filming. As soon as I opened this, I started crying. And I know why. I know why I started crying. It's because of everything that happens to these characters later in the story. And I was like, things were bad here, but they weren't as bad as they get. So, love these. This is only Attack on Titan stuff I have. I really want to buy more art, especially of my vets. I love the vets. And like I said before in a video, when I talk about the vets, I mean Erwin, Mike, Hanji, Moblit, Levi. And I also include Nanaba in that. I don't know how long Nanaba was actually like in the like core. But I love those babies. I call them babies. They're freaking adults, but you know what I mean. But yeah. I'll have to get more Attack on Titan merch, because this is my current obsession. Besides Guts, like Berserk. Guts. Let me just say. Oh yeah, also Mike is a blonde man. I'm like, what's up with these blonde men? I don't usually like blondes. Typically I would be interested in someone like Levi, but Levi does nothing for me. Like, I love his character, but I don't want him carnally, like a lot of people do. Oh my god, so many people want Eren too, and I'm like, that's a 15-year-old boy. Like, I know he's like 19 in season 4 now, but ew. I'm almost done. But sometimes I'll be on TikTok and I'll be like looking at Eerie edits or like Erwin Smith edits, and there will be people in the comments like, oh, I love this man even though he's 20 years older than me. And I'm like, what are these children doing on the internet? Like, I am closer to Erwin Smith's age than I am any of these babies. Yeah, that's my Attack on Titan stuff. So like I said, that was a lot of talking, but hopefully you still found it tingly. I had a lot of energy for this, so hopefully that was fun. But I do have other fandom stuff I'm involved in that I'd like to do another video on, so let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you watch any of these shows or who your favorite characters are, like just stuff that you're interested in that maybe you think I would like too. And I will see y'all in the next video. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night.